Welcome to the Visionaries, Champions of Industry, where we delve into the lives and minds of remarkable individuals who have shaped the business world. On today's episode, I have the privilege of delving into the insights of an exceptional leader. I'm pleased to introduce Ramy Jallad, the Group CEO of Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone, a remarkable force that stands at the forefront of empowering businesses to thrive and prosper within the UAE. Ramy, without further ado, thank you so much for coming over to our studios today. It's an absolute pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. This is really a privilege for me to be here, and it brings back so many memories, as I was telling you earlier.
Right.
Being in Media City in Dubai, being at the ITP offices, fantastic.
Right, you're doing an amazing job at that. And I mean, since we're having a conversation on the Visionaries, I would like to kick off our interview by you telling me the vision behind the establishment of RAKEZ, how it became this industrial hub, this powerhouse that we see it today in the UAE.
Well, I mean, the vision is very much in line with obviously what's happening all over the UAE, and very much our leadership's vision under the guidance of our leadership. Ras Al Khaimah has always been a manufacturing destination and hub. It started out as a quarrying city, so there was a lot of limestone and quarries, and it naturally just progressed into growing into where a lot of that industry was taking place, and then the supply chain came about, and then more and more industry came about. Our role was to really capitalize on that and make sure that, you know, we become a industrial destination for all types of manufacturing, trading. The vision is really to contribute to the GDP on the economy of Ras Al Khaimah. We are now one of the main contributors to the GDP. 35% of the GDP of Ras Al Khaimah comes from manufacturing. So the magnitude and the wealth of all of these manufacturing companies coming there is really the growth factor that we're looking for, and the vision of our leadership.
Speaking of all these impactful roles, RAKEZ has definitely emerged as this true driving force that nourishes all these startups, SMEs, even global manufacturing players, right? So this really leads me to wonder, how does RAKEZ envision its role in fostering that economic growth?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about customer sentiment and what people need, what businesses need, what SMEs need, what manufacturers need. If you're doing products and services where you think that's what's required, what people really want in a thriving economy or in a thriving business hub, we listen to customers, we listen to investors, and we customize our packages, we customize our services, we customize it based on the personas. So that's why we feel that really taking that approach with whether you're a startup and understanding what they really need to start their business, maybe on a shoestring budget, or you're an SME who already monetize their product and their services, how they want to conduct business through digitization, through online, through digital platforms, or a manufacturer who actually needs loads of land, loads of power, loads of electricity to produce whatever they produce. We listen to them and we make sure that it's available. And then we make sure that we give it to them in the most simplest, most economical,
right,
and most customer-centric way.
Right, and the fact that you listen, the result of that is 18,000 companies, right?
Right.
Spanning across various sectors now in RAKEZ. And I think you definitely unquestionably stand as this preferred destination for all of those businesses that want to have their presence inside the UAE. So could you maybe shed light on how is RAKEZ different, you know, than other?
We pride ourselves on several factors, which everybody talks about, but really, you get what's written on the tin. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most important things that we learn. Transparency, being upfront, saying it as it is. We don't say this is what you get and then there are add-ons here and there. So it's all about customer centricity. It's all about, you know, transparency. That's one of our, I believe, one of our key success factors. The other one is cost effectiveness. We're always trying to make sure that businesses, at the end of the day, they've got a bottom line. They've got expenses like anybody else, and they run on a budget. So we make sure that they get the best value for money.
Right.
And then finally, I think our customer service, understanding our customers, is second to none. So as I was saying, looking at the testimony and understanding and the feedback that we get from our customers is just giving us reassurance that we're doing the right thing, and this is what investors need, and what all other, whether you're a startup or major mega manufacturer, I think they're all seeing the fruits of all of our value proposition at the moment.
Right, and this is unquestionably the right dynamic, I think, that any business should have. No?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with a very strong team as well that we have in terms of really having the passion for their how they service customers, how we understand our customers. We've got different we have unique things like concierge services. We've got value-added services that help our customers plug and play. Whether you're a SME or whether you're a major manufacturer, we do things that really allow them to free themselves up and really focus on their business.
But how would you say that these strategic offerings, they serve as really catalysts to propelling all these entrepreneurs, industrialists to flourish in RAK?
The UAE is a business hub and really is second to none when it comes to logistics.
You have the support.
We've got the whole ecosystem of businesses thriving, shipping and receiving, exporting, importing from all over the world, being in the midst of being our strategic location of the UAE, where you can access anywhere around the world, within 4 to 8 hours or 2-3 hour trip from many different airports, many different ports. So that by itself is a magnet to bringing in investors and looking at this destination as a hub to conduct trade all over the world. Of course, we are a part of the UAE. We know that this is a strong part about the UAE, but then what Ras Al Khaimah offers is a conducive environment for these businesses to operate, work, play, stay, live out of Ras Al Khaimah. So I think the proof's in the pudding, as I said earlier. There's a lot of business going on, and with our services, I think it's starting to become a preferred destination.
So would you say that you empower businesses? Would this be the right phrase to use?
I think what we do is we provide the right ecosystem, the right tools that businesses need to plug and play and focus on what they know best. Understanding more about their businesses, understanding more about what they need, means that we're providing them with a more laser-focused bouquet of services, products that really makes them grow a lot faster.
Right, and do you have any inspiring stories that you could share with us?
Absolutely. I mean, we have the typical, start in a garage and then grow up to become one of the largest armored car automotive manufacturers in the Middle East. We've got companies that are started from just an idea as a startup and now do the training and the flight simulator cabins for the aviation industry. And we have many other examples of that, where IT companies that were bought out for hundreds of millions of dollars by the big IT firms around the world. So the list is endless.
Right, and I mean, listening to all of these insights from you as a Group CEO of RAKEZ, I have to say that you really have these key priorities, you have your strategies there, they really drive your business growth, and I'm very eager to just understand, how do you envision RAKEZ in the future?
Well, RAKEZ as the future is always going to be a service provider. It will grow as the Ras Al Khaimah, the Emirate, is growing. We're diversifying into different sectors of the economy, because right now it's not only about manufacturing, SME, there's corporate life. Many people around the world are relocating their businesses, and after Corona, they realize that they can't put all of their eggs in one basket. So there are many other types of industries, service providers.
Things have shifted up.
And I think our strategy will always be a manufacturing and a strong manufacturing and an industrial hub, but that's supported with a very big SME community. But I think more and more corporates are starting to see the benefits of being in Ras Al Khaimah, whether it's live, work, play. I envisage that Ras Al Khaimah's growth itself would mean a lot of growth for RAKEZ by bringing in more and more people to live in that emirate.
Right, and I mean, there's no doubt that RAKEZ's role in attracting, let's say, foreign investments really aligns with the UAE's vision, right, for economic growth and economic diversification. So if you could just elaborate on how RAKEZ contributes to this compelling initiative that we have here in the Emirates.
Well, many people know that there are many initiatives by our great government here to do things like manufacturing in the UAE, made in the UAE. There is something else like Next Gen FDI, which is all about the IT space, all about the automation and digitization of spaces. So we work very closely with the ministries. We're a manufacturing hub, so obviously the Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology, we work with them very closely to draw in and bring in manufacturers so that they can contribute to make in the UAE and bring in manufacturing, bring in advanced technology. With COP28, we're working with the ministries as well to make sure that sustainability is the top thing on our agenda. when it comes to SMEs in the IT space, digitization, the data-driven businesses, artificial intelligence, all of these companies that are working in that space, we bring them in as FDI. We work and we create the right conducive environment for them to work, whether it's co-working space, co-living space, IT labs, a new startup division for looking at companies in that next gen FDI space as we speak. So I think we work very closely with all the government entities to make sure that we're contributing to the overall vision of the UAE.
Exactly, and your vision is always aligned with them.
Absolutely.
Right, Ramy, now hearing you speak, there's no doubt that RAKEZ's dedication to all of these tailor-made solutions, it's really remarkable, and they surely play a significant role in meeting that criteria and those diverse demands that you have from your clients. Now, could you tell us maybe some of the initiatives or maybe some distinctive digital services that RAKEZ has introduced in the last 5 years or maybe even recently that you would like to talk about and that you're proud of?
I'm very proud of our digital transformation. And I know everybody talks about digital transformation.
Very popular word.
Very popular word. What does it mean? What it means to us is that how we access, how we have our customer experience, how we engage with our customers, how we provide our day-to-day services. Accessibility becomes easier, more efficient, more fluid, more customer-centric, and done from a perspective of the actual customer using those platforms. So we're enhancing our customer experience through the portals that we have, through our mobile apps, where everything is digital. You can get a license today from us in 5 minutes through our digital portals. You can be up and running in 5 minutes in certain activities. So that's part of our digital transformation. Some of the initiatives we have is about also data-driven initiatives to know more data, collecting more data about our customers' transactions, what they like, what they don't like, so that we can customize our products and services. We can understand customer habits. We can get their feedback instantaneously about certain services or products that we have. So that digital space today is also being moved in the organization, where we're using artificial intelligence to do marketing campaigns, logos, advertising, understanding how to do write-ups and everything. So we've embedded that into our organization. And one other thing that I'm proud of actually is that having 18,000 plus customers means that we've got so many transactions on a daily basis. So we're actually using artificial intelligence to do those mundane transactions done by robotics. Our business parks are smart parks. They've got Wi-Fi. We've got warehouses that you can plug and play. Even our staff accommodation or blue-collar accommodation has artificial intelligence and all kinds of internet services, online services that they can use to procure some of their day-to-day orders, whether it's food, whether it's laundry, many of those things to make life a lot easier.
Ramy, your insights are absolutely amazing, and I think it's crazy to think about the fact that RAKEZ is making this crazy impact right now in the UAE and in RAK. Where will it only be in 5 years' time? So for our final question, I just wanted to ask you, in 5 years' time, when we sit down and have a coffee, what would be the vision that you would like to talk about?
We, myself and my colleagues, work very closely with our leadership to make sure that we're very well aligned to grow the Emirate as a whole. I believe that in 5 years' time, Ras Al Khaimah would be a major, beautiful destination. It is already, but definitely more and more people will be living there. More and more people will be working from that place and would choose it as their first place of call when they want to look for somewhere to live, work, or play. And I think we're getting there every day as we speak right now. So I think in 5 years' time, we'll have a completely different landscape. We're just about, above 400,000 people today. I think in 5 years' time, I'll come back to you with a much larger figure.
I can imagine. Well, thank you so much for coming over to our studios today.
Thank you.
Some lovely insights. And as I said, maybe we're going to have our interview in the casino one day. You never know. Have a good day ahead and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
In our captivating conversation with Ramy Jallad, we venture deep into the heart of visionary leadership and impactful business growth. RAKEZ, under his guidance, has solidified its role as a true champion of startups, SMEs, and global manufacturing players in the UAE. With you was Mina Vucic, multimedia producer, and see you next week. Until then, stay inspired.